कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, मोहे छाकर समझ निहार। कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, मोहे जाकर समझ निहार। कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, तुझसे चाहे ऐसे नहीं मैं, हाँ तेरी राधा जैसे नहीं मैं, फिर भी हूँ कैसे कैसे नहीं मैं कृष्णा। मोहे देकर तुले एक बार, कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, बूंद ही बूंद में प्यार की चुन कर, प्यासी रही पर लाए हो गिरिधर। तू तर जाए आसे कागर मोहना, ऐसे कान करिया नहीं मार। कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, बात करो या स्वर्ण बना लो, तान को मेरी चरणों से लगा लो। मुरली समझ तो में उतालो सोचना, कछु अब है कृष्ण मोरा। कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, मोहे जाकर समझ निहार। जाकर समझ निहार, जाकर समझ निहार। कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार, कांदा कांदा आन परी में तेरे द्वार। पहले गुरु मिलेगा वो, जिन्हें गुरु रक्षा जहां, पानी से गुरु पिंगार छतती, अलिका पुरसी निर्भान। कैलासपति देवा देव महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देव महादेवा देव महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देव महादेवा देव महादेवा। कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जैतानी जैनी के गंग विराजत, सर्व अंग में सर्व विराजत, जैतानी जैनी के गंग विराजत, सर्व अंग में सर्व विराजत, संधिवन में शंभु हमारे, सब देवन में शंभु हमारे, हे मृगशाला बाल महादेवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा। नाता है में कैलास भुला लो, तरबत जिया है दर्श दिखा दो, नाता हमें कैलास भुला लो, तरबत जिया है दर्श दिखा दो, नाम हमारा जिन्हीं में बसा लो, नाम हमारा जिन्हीं में बसा लो, ऊंचे माहे बाल महादेवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा। इतना के दुख आप हरे हो, इतना के दुख आप हरे हो, आपन गुण संसार भरे हो, इतना के दुख आप हरे हो, आपन गुण संसार भरे हो, संधिवनी में शंभु हमारे, संधिवनी में शंभु हमारे, हे मृगशाला बाल महादेवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय 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 कैलासपति देवा देवा महादेवा देवा महादेवा, जय ऐसी लागी लगन आ, आ, ऐसी लागी लगन आ, आ, ऐसी लागी लगन लागी लागी लगन लागी लागी लगन ऐसी लागी लगन ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन वो तो गली गली हरी गुन गाने लगी महलों में पली पन के जोगन चली महलों में पली पन के जोगन चली मेरे रानी दीवानी कहानी लगी सी लागी लगन
My humble Sitram or Pranam to all of you divine souls joining us this evening, both in person and online. On behalf of our host family, Srimati Leela Sharma and her three wonderful children, Pandit Rishi, Pandit Jigeshwar, and Srimati Uma, I want to welcome you this evening, and I hope your stay with us is an enjoyable and memorable one. Just before we have our Vyas join us this evening, Pandit Rajan Balgobin, we will have Kirtan Mandali and our talented musicians and Gandharvas keep your mind attuned to the feet of Bhagwan as we listen to bhajans and kirtan in His glory. Thank you, Padmini, for that wonderful bhajan, Aise Lage Lagan. And I now have the pleasure of asking Anisa Dar, again, no stranger to many of us, a very talented musician here in the GTA, to give us the next rendition for this evening. Those of you who are desirous, please make your way near Kirtan and we'll do our best to accommodate you. And once again, away and over to Anisa.
क्या जाने तो क्या जाने, क्या जाने कोई क्या जाने, मेरे लगे शाम संग प्रेम दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने, मेरे लगे शाम संग प्रेम दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने, क्या जाने कोई क्या जाने, क्या जाने कोई क्या जाने, मुझे मिल गया, मुझे मिल गया, मुझे मिल गया मन कामी, दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने। जब लग मैंने शाम की जब से बेभावने में तो तब से बांधे प्रेम की डोर मोहन से, नाता तोड़ा मैंने जग से, ये कैसे, ये कैसे, ये कैसे निकोरे प्रेम, दुनिया क्या जाने, मेरी लगी शाम संग प्रेम, दुनिया क्या जाने। मोहन की सुंदर मूर्तियाँ मन में बस गई, मोहनी मूर्तियाँ जब से ओढ़े शाम चुनरिया, लोग कहे मैं भी पावरिया, मेरे चोरे, मेरे चोरे, मेरे चोरे जग के लिए, दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने, मेरी लगी शाम संग प्रेम, दुनिया क्या जाने, क्या जाने कोई क्या जाने, क्या जाने कोई क्या जाने, मुझे मिल गया, मुझे मिल गया, मुझे मिल गया मन कामी, दुनिया क्या जाने, मेरी लगी शाम संग प्रेम, दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने, दुनिया क्या जाने।
Thank you very, very much, Anisa. Always a pleasure to hear you singing. I now have the opportunity to call a representative from Sri Radha Krishna Mandir, Preeti, who will give us the next rendition for this evening. And once again, for those of you who are just coming in, if you are desirous of giving a rendition, giving your love for Bhagwan this evening, please come near Kirtan, let us know and we'll do our best to accommodate you.
रहते रहते बोर, रहते रहते बोर, बरसने में दो कि मकसे
much, Preeti, and those members of Sri Radha Krishna Mandir for joining us this evening. Your presence and contribution means so much. I now have the privilege of calling Meera Mahadio to give us the next rendition for this evening. And following Meera, if I could ask Seema to please queue up. Thank you.
विमुख शिखर से दारा दाई राधा हरि सन्मुख आए बांसुरिया हरि सावरिया की राधा गोरी सुन बावे बाजे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे अदर दरे मोहन मुरली पर अदर दरे मोहन मुरली पर होठ पे माया विराजे बाजे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे हरि हरि बास के बने मुरलिया हरि हरि बास के बने मुरलिया मरम मरम को छुए गुड़िया मरम मरम को छुए गुड़िया चंचल चतुर गुड़िया जिस पर चंचल चतुर गुड़िया जिस पर कनक मुदरिया साजे बाजे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे पीली मुंदरी अंगुरी शाम पीली मुंदरी अंगुरी शाम मुंदरी पर राधा का नाम मुंदरी पर राधा का नाम आकर देके सुने मधुर स्वर आकर देके सुने मधुर स्वर राधा गोरी लाजे बाजे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे मुरलिया बाजे, भूल गई रारा बड़ी गगरिया, भूल गई रारा बड़ी गगरिया, भूल करे गोदन को सावरिया, भूल करे गोदन को सावरिया, जाने न जाने तेरो जाने, जाने न जाने तेरो जाने, जाने अर्ध जग राजे, बाजे मुरलिया बाजे, बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे, बाजे रे, बाजे रे, बाजे रे मुरलिया बाजे.
Thank you, Mira. What a beautiful bhajan to the feet of Lord Krishna, and most appropriate as we listen to Bhagwat Katha. I now ask Seema to wake her way to the harmonium. And after Seema, if I could ask Navindra to please queue up to sing his rendition next.
हे शिव शंकर नत राजा नित, जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा, नित जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा. हे शिव शंकर नत राजा नित, जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा, जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा. निश दिन करता मैं नाम जपन तेरा, शिव 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 गूंजत मन मेरा. निश दिन करता मैं नाम जपन तेरा, शिव 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 गूंजत मन मेरा. तुम हो मेरे प्रभु, तुम ही कृपालु, करो समर्पण दीन दयालु. हे शिव शंकर नत राजा नित, जन्म जन्म का दास तेरा,
Thank you very, very much, Seema, for that beautiful bhajan. And as Narendra makes his way to the harmonium, a few more people have just come in, so I want to offer you a very humble Sitram or Pranam. After Navindra, I'd also like to ask that Anthony and Dinesh make their way to the stage to give their contribution for this evening. And following them, if Tameshwar could also prepare his contribution for this evening. Thank you.
मीठे रस से परोरी रात रानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे मीठे रस से परोरी रात रानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे यमुना मैया खारी खारी राता गोरी गोरी वृंदावन में धूम मचावे बरसाने की छोरी रच दाम राता देखी रच जाने लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे आनंद मुरले ने तेरे सुमिरे बारंबार कोटिन रूप तेरे मन मोहन कौना पावे पार तेरे रूप रंग किच बेली पथरानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे ना पावे मन माखन मिसरी अपना कोई मिठाई मारे जीवरिया ना पावे राता ना मिली आए रस पान खाए लीचू गुण जाने लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे राधा नाम रत है जो नर आत्मयाम जिनकी बाधा दूर करत है राधा नाम में सफल जिंदगानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे माने खैरो यमुना चिरो पानी लागे मीठे रस से परोरी रात रानी
Niteras se parori. What a wonderful bhajan by our young Navindra. And as I ask Anthony and Dinesh to transition their way to the stage, to keep our mind attuned and affixed to that divine form of Bhagwan. I also want to say a humble Sitram once again to all of you who are joining us. Sitram Pandit, Karl Sharma, thank you for joining us night after night. Your presence here means so much to the family and to all of us. And once again, for those of you just coming in, if you are desirous of giving a rendition this evening, we will do our best to accommodate you. Just please make your way close to the kirtan area, and we'll do our best to give you an opportunity to give your rendition and contribution this evening.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangulang gaite girim yakripatamaham mande paramananda madhavam. Bolo Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai. मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे. मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे. भीष्म द्रोण कहत दुर्योधन, भीष्म द्रोण कहत दुर्योधन, सब एक मत मिल विचारो, सब एक मत मिल विचारो, पांच गाव का पांडु एक दीजे, पांच गाव का पांडु एक दीजे, साजरो राज तुम्हारे तुम्हारे, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे. भूमि न देव शुद्धि के लोके, मन में समझ विचारो, भीष्म भूमि न देव शुद्धि के लोके, मन में समझ विचारो, क्षात्री को लेके यही रीत है, आश्री को लेके के यही रीत है, कोई जीतो कोई हारो, कोई हारो। मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे। भारत नाही बोल दुर्योधन, भारत नाही बोल दुर्योधन। मन संग्राम विचारो, मन संग्राम विचारो। घट घट शीश गिरे धरनी में, घट घट शीश गिरे धरनी में। ओ घट घट शीश से के धरनी में, घट घट शीश से के धरनी में। भरत चाले बोधारो बोधारो, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे। सुन हरि बचन हसे दुर्योधन, सुन हरि बचन, सुन हरि बचन हसे दुर्योधन। बोलती बचन गवायो, बोलती बचन गवायो। सूरदास प्रभु मंगले सभा में, सूरदास प्रभु मांगे सभा में। आए कौन तिहारो तिहारो, मान ले मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, मान ले बचन हमारे। मान ले बचन हमारे ओ राजा, 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 मान ले बचन।
Thank you so much, Anthony and Dinesh, who are just half of what the power is behind Amar Geet, another one of the bands here in the GTA. And I ask and encourage you both to hopefully see you some more nights out and bring the rest of the group. It's always an honor to hear from you guys and to have you in our company. And as Tamesh makes his way behind the harmonium, I ask that his brother Pitambar head behind the tabla to accompany him. And once again, those of you who are desirous of giving their contribution this evening, to please make your way and just let us know. And just to queue up a few more singers after Tamesh, if Rishi could please prepare to contribute a bhajan.
कृष्ण काले मुरलिया वाले अकेले निराले तू प्यारा नंद लाल ही तुझको कहते भगन गोपाले। ओ कृष्ण काले मुरलिया वाले, हे केल निराले, तू प्यारा नंद लाल है। तुझको कहते मगन गोपाले, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाले। हे मुरारी गिरी वरदारी, सुरतिया प्यारी बड़ी है कमाल है। तुझको कहते मगन गोपाले, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाले। मोरा मुकुट सिर ऊपर ये साजे, गली में बेजन भी माला। मोरा मुकुट सिर ऊपर ये साजे, गली में बेजन भी माला। श्यामारी रंग सलोना लागे, सब कमल हर वाला। प्यारा 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 रूप तुम्हारा, हे गोविंद गोपाला। हे कन्हैया दाऊ जी की भैया, यशोदा की छैया, गजब तेरी चाल है। कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाले, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल है। कानों में कुंडल और हाथों में बसुरिया, कानों में कुंडल और हाथों में बसुरिया। पाँव में बेजन या प्यारी, सूरत सुहानी तेरी सीरत लुबानी। आओ के बिनता जलकारी, रास रचाया रास रचाया, माखन चुराया, तू बाका बनवारी। चक्रधारी काहे दुनिया सारी, तू संकट हारी, करे तूने हाल है। कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल। ओ कृष्ण काले मुरलिया वाले, हे केल निराले, तू प्यारा नंद लाल है। कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल, कि तुझको कहते मगन गोपाल।
Thank you very, very much, Tameshwar, accompanied by his brother Pitambar on tabla. And as Rishi makes his way to the harmonium to give his contribution, I want to offer a very humble sitaram and pranam to Pandit Lekram Tiwari. Thank you for joining us here this evening. On behalf of the family, thank you so much for showing up, and your presence is much, much appreciated this evening.
कृष्ण मुरारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे कृष्ण मुरारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे बाकी बिहारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे बाकी बिहारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे पीली कमलिया मोर मुकुट गने शाम गगन के रंग सजावे साजिन दी के शाम सवेरा दिन भर नंद की दीन चरावे तन मन बारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे मैं तो हारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे नींदे उनींदे जग की कारज करते सोचू शाम के सोचू रसिया जोगे कान बजावे मुरली बोली किए तक पहुँचे रास बिहारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे शोभादारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे तन मन प्राण हवाली तेरे कुछ मेर में रमारे पंछी माधव मदीन गोवर्धन दारी दर्श में तेरी बिगिन शदन कृष्ण मुरारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे सुध बुद्धारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे कृष्ण मुरारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे बाकी बिहारी जी आंक बसे मन बावे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Krishna Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Please kindly stand as we welcome Jaji. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravashtamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anushunvannoti Bisida Sadhanam Bhadram Karnebi Shunayama Deva Bhadram Pashe Makshavirjatraha Stirairangaistuštavagam Yastanabihi Dushema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Bridastavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Stariksho Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadatu Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe Namo sute vyasa vishala buddhe Pularavindaya tapatra netra Yena tvaya bharatataila purnam prajwalito jnanamaya pradipa Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem Swala Vyasa Maharaj ki jai. Can you have a seat? We'll have a bhajan while we do Vyas Puja.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranat Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha मुझ चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले मुझ चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले मुझ चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा है नाम मुरली वाले मुझ चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले मुझ चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले वक्त की तुमने कान्हा विपदा है तारी। वक्त की तुमने कान्हा विपदा है तारी। मेरी भी बाहें तामो आके बिहारी। मेरी भी बाहें तामो आके बिहारी। बिगड़ी बनाई तुमने, बिगड़ी बनाने तुमने हर काम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा, मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा है नाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। पर चढ़े मेरा जीवन बन के बाहर आजा। पर चढ़े मेरा जीवन बन के बाहर आजा। सुन ले पुकार कान्हा बस एक बार आजा। सुन ले पुकार कान्हा बस एक बार आजा। बेचैनी मन की तुमने, बेचैनी मन की तुमने आराम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा, मेरी श्वास श्वास में तेरा है नाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मुझे चरणों से लगा ले मेरी शाम मुरली वाले। मेरी शाम मुरली वाले, मेरी शाम मुरली वाले।
Bihari Lal ki jai. Shall we all stand for Aarti, please? धनी वृंदावन धाम है, धनी वृंदावन नाम। धनी वृंदावन रसिक जे, सुमिरत राधे श्याम। श्यामा तेरी आरती, कन्हैया तेरी आरती, सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के। सारा संसार
करेगा कर जोर के।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
सिर पर सोना मुकुट विराजे, गल वैजंती माला साजे।
सिर पर सोना मुकुट विराजे, गल वैजंती माला साजे।
और फूलन के हार करेगा कर जोर के। श्यामा तेरी आरती गोविंदा तेरी आरती सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के
सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला
ब्रह्मादिक तेरो यश गावे नारद शारद ध्यान लगावे
ब्रह्मादिक तेरो यश गावे नारद शारद ध्यान लगावे
और करे जय जयकार करेगा कर जोर के श्यामा तेरी आरती नंदलाला तेरी आरती सारा संसार
करेगा कर जोर के सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला
गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला
गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला
गोविंद गोपाल हे ब्रज बाला
गोविंद गोपाल हे ब्रज बाला
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला
राधे गोपाला
गोपी गोपाला त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव
त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव
त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव
We bow in obeisance.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः
श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय श्री रमापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय
नारायण भगवान की our most humble and esteemed Vyasji, our very competent Pandvaji, Avinashji, our respected elders, talented and humble musicians, brothers and sisters and friends, lovers and worshippers of the divine, let me this evening, on behalf of our Parivar, welcome, Swagatam, to this, the third session of Bhagwat Maha Puran Yajna. Tonight, it is our hope once more to be energized and to be uplifted spiritually and to be charged with that teaching from Bhagwat Mahapuran which will make a difference in our life. Last night Panditji summoned us. It is his 7th Bhagwat for this year. And those who believe in numerology, the year 2023, if you add the numbers, number 7. And we know number 7 is ruled by Ketu. Ketu is one of those planets which is spiritual, strict, and he takes you toward moksha. The last day in the 7th month in this year, in July, we commence this Bhagwat. I think his first was in India, at the beginning of the New Year, Haridwar, then Baiku, then we came to Sundar Gopal Mandir, Milan Mandir, then Radha Krishna Mandir, then One was out here in Toronto here. Now this is his 7th. Starting in the 7th month of this year, his 7th Bhagwat. For us, and we know Bhagwat, the number 7, have a very significant with it. It is my hope and our hope that as we listen to these 7 sessions of Bhagwat Katha, it will empower, enhance us, not materially. Materially it will come, but spiritually. Mentally it will charge us and makes us a different person and change our personality towards life. This evening I want to say a special welcome to all you lovely and wonderful souls. I want to give a special welcome to the devotee who all the way from Schenectady here. It's about 6-hour drive, give and take. Traffic, the border, but you guys made it. I bow to you for making that effort here tonight. I want to welcome you wholeheartedly on behalf of my brother, our family, this temple. I want to welcome you from south of the border. Again, please rapt attention. May your mind be positive, may your thought be positive. Open your ear and allow the Katha of Bhagavan Sri Krishna to enter and to fertile your mind. Prem se bolo Vyas Bhagavan ki.
Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Bal Krishna Lal ki jai. Om Namaschandikaya Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev Shivatane Varishtham Sarva Kalyana Murtim Parshu Kamalahasta Shobhitam Modakena Aruna Kusumamala Byalalambodaram Tam Mama Hriday Nivasam Shri Ganesham Namami Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvarth Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Someshwara Shiva Rameshwara Vishweshwara Shiva Bhimeshwara Om
Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Shiva Gopeshwara Shiva Gaurishwara Maheshwara Shiva Nageshwara
शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। श्री काशीपति विश्वनाथ भगवान की जय। गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति। अग्रे कुरूणाम् अथ पाण्डवानां दुःशासनेन हृतवस्त्रकेशां कृष्णात् तदाक्रोशः गम्यनाथ गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। श्री कृष्ण विष्णु मधुकैत भारे भक्तानुकंपिन भगवन् मुरारे त्रायस्व मां केशवलोकनाथ गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। वक्तुं समर्थोऽपि नवाति कश्चिद् अहो जनानां व्यसनाभिमुख्यं जिह्वे पिबस्व
जिह्वे पिबस्व
जिह्वे पिबस्व अमृतमेतदेवा गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति
गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। बंशी विभूषित कराननवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बराद अरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखाद अरविन्द्रनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वं न जाने। कृष्ण त्वदीयपदपङ्कजपञ्जरां ते अद्यैव मे विशतु मानसराजहंसा प्राणप्रयाण समये कफवात पित्तः कंठावरोधनम विधौ स्मरणम कुतस्ते। श्री बद्रीनारायण भगवान की जय। श्री अनंत पद्मनाभ स्वामी की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ जी महाराज की जय। श्री द्वारकाधीश भगवान की जय। श्री वैकुंठपति लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। अखंड मंडलाकारं
व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज
निज मन मुकुर सुधार बरनो रघुवर विमल यश जोदायक फल चार।
बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके
सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार।
मंगल भवन अमंगल हारे द्रवौ सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारे।
मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी द्रवौ सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी।
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई।
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम। मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सूरभूप। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। श्री सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। श्री वेदव्यास जी भगवान की जय। मंगल मूर्ति भगवान श्री गणेश जी को प्रणाम करते हुए और humble obeisance first and foremost to Shri Ganesh ji, to Mata Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, to Ma Vaishnavi. In this beautiful month of Shravan, the 30th day, in this most auspicious month of Bhole Baba, we bow down to Kailashpati Bhagwan Shiv Shankar. Dim dim damaru bajavela hamar jogiya. When we sing the Lord's praises, the intention is to make him happy. The intention is to capture his attention, to make him smile, to make him look towards us, for him to bless us. But actually, when we sing his praises, we are the ones who become happy. We are the ones who are happy. That joy, that ananda comes to us when we sing his praises. And I don't mind anyone calling me a madman in front of Mahadev. कि डिम डिम डमरू बजावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगिया। डिम डिम डमरू बजावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगिया। बसहा बैल के सवारी चंद शोभे लाली लारी, बसहा बैल के सवारी, बसहा बैल के सवारी चंद शोभे लाली लारी, चंदा शोभे लाली लारी। धार गंगा के, धार गंगा के बहावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगिया। के डिम डिम डमरू बजावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगी। भोले गोचर बिच्छू कान कुंडलवा, कर में लिहाले त्रिशूलवा। गोचर बिच्छू कान कुंडलवा, गोचर बिच्छू कान कुंडलवा, कर में लिहाले त्रिशूलवा, कर में लिहाले त्रिशूलवा। सबके दया देके, सबके दया देके लावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगिया। के डिम डिम डमरू बजावेला हमार जोगिया, ओ हमार जोगिया। एक लोटा जल, एक बेलव पत्र। अगर बेलव पत्र भी नहीं है, इवन इफ यू डोंट हैव अ बेलव पत्र, कोई भी पत्ते आप भगवान पे चढ़ाओ। इवन इफ यू डोंट हैव अ बेलव पत्र, यू ऑफर इट टू हिम। और वो भोलेनाथ, ही गिव्स यू डायमंड्स but he keeps his rudraksha. शंकर भगवान हमको हीरे देते हैं, but he keeps nothing for himself. धन धन भोलेनाथ तुम्हारी, लेकिन फिर भी कौड़ी नहीं खजाने में। You know what is kauri? Kauri is worthless beads. I think it used to grow in Barbies. You have a version of kauri, busy busy. Remember busy busy? And a little bead used to come on top, and then it had its own shade, it has its own hole, right? And as kids, we would pick it, and you make mala with it, right? Try to sell it in the market, you won't get anything. That is Shivji. Dhana dhana bholenath tumhari. So wealthy you are, you're Jagadishwar, you're the master of the world. Jeev Jagat Jagannath Vishwanath. He is the soul within. Jeev. This is his Jagat. Bhagwan ne banaya. The solar system, this entire universe came out from him. Jeev Jagat. And he is Jagannath. He is the master of the world. And then in Kashi, he is called Vishwanath. Dhana dhana bholenath tumhari, fir bhi kauri nahi khajane mein. You don't even keep worthless beads in your khajana. Fir bhi, whatever you ask of him, he grants it to you. To that Mahadev, in this auspicious month of Shravan, we bow down to him. To the one who is seated in the heart of Mahavishnu, and in his heart Mahavishnu resides, we bow down to the presiding deity of this temple, Bhagwan Shri Lakshmi Narayan, who is the Lord of Ayodhya, Bhagwan Shri Sitarama, and the Lord of Vrindavan, Bhagwan Shri Radha Krishna. We must take the blessings of our gurus, we must take the blessings of our parents, we must take the blessings of our Diksha Guru, our Vidya Guru, our Sat Guru, and the blessing of the Guru of all Gurus, Sri Hanumanji Maharaj. Mano Javam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam. We want Jitendriya. We want Hanumanji to bless us so we can conquer our lower senses. Jitendriya. You know who was a Jitendriya? Sudama. When he is going to be described, you will hear the word Jitendriya Prashantatma, super peaceful soul, one who had mastered his senses. Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam. Buddhavar. Today is Wednesday. Yes, you can pray to Hanumanji also on a Wednesday. To do what? To strengthen our buddhi, to strengthen our intellect. We pray to Shri Hanumanji Maharaj. And of course the Veda Vyasji, who has given to us the Srimad Bhagwat Mahapurana. On behalf of the Sharma Parivar, on behalf of Pandit Rishi, Pandit Jageshwar, their dear sister, and their most hospitable and loving and welcoming mother, Mataji Leela Sharma, together with their respective families, I welcome each and every one of you. Kathayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Don't doubt his words. Matchita madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That which brings happiness, joy, contentment. Welcome to their Bhagwat Katha. This, the third session. A real honor and a joy to be present with you in this Shravan Adhik Mas, to observe, my dear ones, the Shravan Adhik Mas, and to have the recitation, and to have our ears be treated to a Bhagavatam. We are indeed blessed. Pata nahi pichle janma mein humne kaun sa satkarma kiya, what good karma we did on our previous birth, that we're reaping such good karma, such blessed opportunities in this birth of ours. To Pandit Avinash Sharma ji, who is conducting Dev Puja, and to all Pandits in our gathering, my humble pranam to each and every one of you. Now we have a lengthy session tonight. Bhagavatam, my dear ones, cannot be a Bhagavatam unless you touch every canto of the Bhagavatam. We have to do justice, not just to the family, to giving them a Bhagavad Katha. We have to do justice to the text. Even if you don't read an entire episode, you must mention an episode from each canto of the Bhagavatam. At least this is my tradition. This is my tradition. Ek bar, one Bhagavad Katha ended with Sudama's Katha. So I said, what happened to Parikshit Maharaj? How can you conclude a Bhagavad Katha with Sudama's Katha? Then what happened to Parikshit, who has been sitting there for 7 days listening to Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam has a certain tradition, how it's supposed to be recited. And it should be respected, and it should continue in that similar manner. Last evening, we talked about 3 magnanimous women. We spoke about Draupadi, we spoke about Uttara, and we spoke about Mother Kunti. There's another great personality in the first canto that we have to touch on. He has been lying on his deathbed for quite some time, but he's been blessed. He was blessed by his father Shantanu. Shantanu blessed him and says, you will not exit this world until you decide you will leave this world. And who is that? Bhishma. Ganga Putra, Bhishma. You know Ganga. Ganga is the character who opens up the Mahabharata. Ganga. Bhagavad Gita is compared to Ganga. Gita, Ganga, Gayatri, Gaumata, Guru. And the Ramcharitramanas, Puche Raghupati Katha Prasanga Sakala Loka Jagapavani Ganga. Gangaji's Katha is in Ramcharitramanas. Ganga is a very, very important character in our text. And she brought forth into this world Bhishma. Bhishma has been shot by Arjuna almost in every one of his pores of his body. And he's lying on a bed of arrows. The war has ended. And everyone comes to meet Bhishma. All the Pandavas are standing around Bhishma. But Bhishma wants to see him. You would think that Bhishma lived such a good life, a life of tyag, a life of renunciation, a life of sacrifice, never caring for himself, but always catered for the needs of others, just like some of us in the world today. And then we ask, why such good people suffer? Why do good people suffer? Can any one of you be better than Bhishma? Can any one of us, my dear ones, compare ourselves to the selfless Bhishma? My God. You would think he's angry. Krishna, is this how I'm going to exit this world? I wanted to die in my sleep and exit this world, Prabhu. I didn't want to lie here in a bed of arrows. Everybody wants a good death, na? Then let's tell you, pray for a good death. There's no such thing as a good death. Death is death. Look at Bhishma's death. And you would think, children, that he's angry with God. We get angry with God when we don't get what we want, when we're losing what we have. We get naraz ho jate na Bhagwan se. We get angry with him. Bhishma commands his appearance and he comes. Krishna comes before Bhishma. What does Bhishma, my dear ones, say to Lord Shri Krishna? Iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna bhagavati sattva pungave vibhumni swasukham pagate kvachida hirtum prakriti mupapeyushi yadbhava prabhava iti mati rupa kalpita vitrishna. On the eve of my departure, he has now decided he's going to leave the world. He says, I want to give you something, Krishna. I want to give you my mind. Iti mati rupa kalpita. He's not angry with God. Yes, of providence hai. Yes, of destiny. Yes, of kismat hai. You have a road named Kitty Matna? It reminds me of Kismat. Huh? Kismat. What is destined, no one can alter it. No one could alter it. God is standing next to him. Bhagwan himself. He's not angry, children. He says to Prabhu, I offer my mind to you. It has absolutely no worldly longings, Krishna. It has absolutely no thirst for worldly enjoyment. He says, Tribhuvana kamanam tamalavarnam ravi karagauravarambaram dadhani vapuralakakulan vritanabjam vijaya sakheratirastu me anavadhyam. And he says, Tribhuvana kamanam tamalavarnam. May I cherish selfless love, unconditional love for Shri Krishna, who is a friend of Vijay. Arjuna has several names. Arjuna is called Vijay because he is ever so victorious. He is called Dhananjay. And what is Dhananjay? Dhananjay, one who has mastered his senses above material wealth. Dhananjay. One who will not be corrupted by wealth. That is called Arjuna. He is called Arjuna because he is handsome like his father, Raja Indra. He is called Kaunteya. He is a son of Kunti. He is called Partha. Gita Dhyanam commences with Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata. He is called Partha because he is named after his mother. Another name from Mother Kunti is Pritha. Pritha's son is Partha. Arjuna has several names. Here he calls Arjuna Vijay and a friend of Vijay. May I cherish love for him, who has assumed this personality, a charming, most charming personality. We talk about beauty. No one's beauty can be compared to Adharam Madhuram Vadanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram Gamanam Madhuram Madhuradhipate Rakhilam Madhuram Madhuradhipate Akhilam Madhuram. First he says, I offer my mind to him. May I cherish selfless, unconditional love for Shri Krishna. May my mind, may my body, may my soul, may it all rest in him. May it all rest in him. And then Sapadi Sakhi Vacho Nisham Yamadhi Nija Parayor Balayoratham Niveshyam Stitavati Parasainika Yurakshanam Ritavati Partha Sakhi Ratir Mamastu. May I develop love. Again, now he uses Pritha, Partha, Pritha's son. May I develop love for Arjuna, Pritha's son. Was it not Pritha's son who commanded Sri Krishna to park the chariot between the two armies, chapter 1 of the Bhagwat Gita? Who at the request of his friend, immediately he drove and placed his chariot in the middle of the battlefield between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. May I be blessed with devotion to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. May I be blessed, he says. Are unhone kya kiya bhai? Bhishma is going to tell us what Shri Krishna did. Shri Krishna took a sankalpa, I will not lift arm in the battle. Right? That was Sri Krishna's sankalpa. I will be there with you, but I will not lift any arm. Bhishma says, I will make you lift arm. I will make you lift arm, Krishna. I will make you break your vow. Imagine Bhagwan breaking his vow. Wow. Only person who could make God break his promise is Bhishma. And when Bhishma went on the battlefield like a lion shooting arrows and arrows and arrows and arrows and arrows to Arjuna, my dear ones, Bhagwan Shri Krishna had no choice. When the wheel of the chariot got caught in the mire, he took the wheel of the chariot and held it in his finger like a Sudarshana Chakra, ready to wield it towards Bhishma. Bhishma says, is this how much you love me? You broke your promise to keep my promise. This is the Bhishma we're talking about, a magnanimous character. If you think you're a good person and you go through difficult times, and you question why you go through difficult times, look at Bhishma's life. Look at Bhishma's life. He's like Tyagamurti. He's like the embodiment of renunciation itself. That is Bhishma. You broke your promise, you broke your vow to upkeep my vow, Krishna. At this final moment, I offer my mind to you. This is the state of mind we should be in when we're going to exit this world. This is a state of mind which should be when we're going to die. And I don't want to make a Wednesday night grim for you, but you and I are going to die. Tige? You and I are going to die. And imagine if you could exit this world in such a state of mind. Itna to karna swami jab praan tan se nikle govind naam lekar fir praan tan se nikle Shri Ganga ji ka tat ho Yamuna ka vamsivat lekin मेरा सावरा निकट हो जब प्राण तन से निकले इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले. This is how Bhishma exits this world. Bhagwan Shri Krishna is returning to Dwarka. He returns now to Dwarka. And Parikshit is born. This is the fetus. This is the fetus that was developing in the womb of Mother Uttara. He now comes into this world and he's called Parikshit. This is the grandson of Arjuna, the son of Abhimanyu and Uttara. In separation from Sri Krishna. Buramat Manu, please don't mind. Because we're all in search of Tattva Gyan. We're all in search of the ultimate truth. And please let me tell you, one of the ultimate truth is, boys and girls, you can live without a husband. You can live without a wife. You can live without children. But for a bhakta, Bhagwan ke bina ji nahi sakte. But for a devotee, you cannot live without God. I don't know about you. People would ask me, Panditji, why don't you go visit this country and that country and this country? And I would say to them, the first thing I do is Google, which is the nearest mandir. If that country or that city has a temple, I will visit. Because that's the one who's dear to me. That's the one who's most dear to me. All relationships are temporary. All relationships are temporary. The one permanent one that will take you to your next birth and to the next and to the next is your relationship, your sambandh with Bhagwan. With Bhagwan. Bhaktijano, imagine separation from Sri Krishna. Imagine what the Pandavas are going through. Yudhishthir, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva. Sri Krishna, my dear ones, has now returned to Dwarka and they're pining away in separation from him. Parikshit Maharaja comes to age. He comes of age. King Yudhishthir, Maharaj Yudhishthir, begins to witness the coming of Kali. The coming of Kali Yuga is taking hold. Stricken with their grief from the separation from Sri Krishna, the Pandavas place Parikshit as the ruler of the throne of Hastinapura, and they're all going to ascend back again from where they originated. Did Yudhishthir not come from Yamalok? Did Arjuna not come from Indralok? Did Bhima, the Pandavas, my dear ones, Yudhishthir, when Yamraja was invoked, Dharmaraja blessed Mother Kunti with Yudhishthir. Arjuna came from the blessing of Raja Indra. Bhima came from the blessings of Pavandev, Vayudevta. And the two Sandhyas, they are the ones who brought forth into the world Nakula and Sahadeva. They've all now ascended back to their source. Parikshit Maharaj, imagine what qualities are flowing in his veins. What qualities are flowing in the veins of Parikshit. Look who his grandfather is. Look at who his great-grandmother is. My God, Kunti. He is the great-grandson of Pandu. Sometimes you have to remind your two boys, you know, what qualities flow in their veins, what their father was like, what their grandfather was like. Sometimes we tend to forget this. Parikshit. Tataha Parikshit Dvijavarya Shikshaya Mahim Maha Bhagwat Shashasaham Yatahi Sutayam Abhijata Kovida Samadishan Vipra Mahadagunastatham. After the Pandavas have ascended to the divine realm, we are told Parikshit Maharaj, he was a bhakta, he was a bhagavata, he was a devotee. And he ruled over the earth, we are told. And he took instructions. He ruled over the world, taking instructions from the foremost of Brahmins, from the foremost of those who are knowledgeable. He took instructions, and thus he ruled. Manmani Nahita. He wasn't a stubborn ruler who ruled on his own will. He took instructions from others. It is this Parikshit who is going to once again establish Dharma. Tapah shaucham daya satyamiti padaha krite kritaham adharma shaistrayo bhagnam syamanga daityasthavam. We talk about Ga. You have Gita, you have Ganga, you have Gayatri, you have Gaumata, you have Guru. I tell people these are the 5 Gs. We are now doing 5G internet, no? 5G. Guyana, we've been promised 5G, but every time I log on, it says 3G. Every time I log on, it says 3, then it goes up to 4 in certain places. I haven't seen the 5 yet. So false advertisement. Yeah, misleading advertisement, but it's okay. Rome was not built in a day. Don't expect the Dubai of South America to be built in a day. Bhaktijano, devotees all, 5G. 5 Gs in your life. A Bhagwat Gita. Don't put a Bhagwat Gita in the puja room, put a flower and say Bhagwat Gita ki jai. Open it and read it. Open it and connect with the words of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Connect with it. Gita. Gayatri. You know, sometimes the mind, you can't think properly, we cannot decide, we cannot draw the right conclusion. It is the Gayatri mantra that will bring clarity to your mind. Gita, Gayatri. Ganga, Mother Nature. Mano to me Ganga mahu na mano to me behta pani. Huh? Some will say, oh, she's just a river. But no, she's not. She's more than that. You cannot leave out Ganga in the history of Bharat. In the history of India, you cannot, my dear ones, leave out the mention of Ganga. Ganga reminds us of nature. Ganga reminds us of purity. Ganga reminds us of life. Jal hi jeevan hai. Water is life and life is water. So you have Gita, Gayatri, Ganga, Gau Mata. Let's leave the Gau Mata to number 5. Number 4, Guru. You have spiritual, you have financial advisors, you have legal advisors, you have medical advisors. You should all have a spiritual advisor. Everyone should have a spiritual advisor, a guru in life. And let's say the 5th one now is Gau Mata, the celestial cow. Her 4 legs, Satya, Shaucham, Daya, Satyamiti. Her 4 legs represent discipline, tapa. Shaucham, hygiene, cleanliness. Daya is the 3rd, compassion. And the 4th is truth. This is what Parikshit Maharaja once again establishes dharma. And then, when conquering Kali, he wants to limit the spread of Kali. He wants to confine Kali. He wants to confine this entity which has the ability to corrupt society. Where do you put them in today's world? You put them in jail. But he couldn't put Kali in jail. So Kali is going to ask him to give him a place where he could settle permanently. You know, you want to confine something from spreading, right? You quarantine it. Let's use that word. You quarantine it. Let me tell you where Parikshit Maharaja quarantines Kali. Tanme dharma bhrita shreshta sthanam nirdeshtu marhasi yatra vaniyato vatsya atishta stenu sashanam dhyutam panam striyah suna yatra dharma chaturvidam. He says, give me, at least you have to give me a place to live. Then Parikshit Maharaj gives him where people gamble, number 1. Where intoxicants are served, where liquor, where wine is served, number 2. Where women sell themselves for a price, where people indulge in lust, and where there is cruelty. Dhyutam, panam, striyah, suna. He says, ye 4 jagah kafi nahi hai, you have to give me more. So he has been confined to where? Sona. Punascha chachamanayam jatarupa madat prabhu tatunritam madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. Symbolically, where there is greed. These are the 5 places where Kali Yuga resides. Where people gamble, where people indulge in intoxicants, where people indulge in lust, where there's cruelty, and where there is greed. This is what Parikshit Maharaja managed to accomplish. One day, the same Parikshit is out hunting. Hunting was a sport for the Kshatriya. It was a sport, and it's still a sport for the royals. It's still a sport for the royals. There are certain qualities that we share with all other animals. They get thirsty, we get thirsty. We want food, they want food. They sleep, we sleep. We procreate, they procreate. We die and they die. One day our friend Parikshit Maharaja is overcome by extreme thirst. Jalashayam akshanam pravishesha tamashramam dadarsha muni manasinam shantam milita lochanam. He could not find any source of water. There was no source of water nearby, but he saw an ashram. Dadharsha Muni Masinam. He entered, and there was one Muni, there was one Rishi, one great sage by the name of Samika. Samika Rishi, my dear ones, is sitting there with his eyes closed. Maharaj, ek glass pani pila do na. Please, give me a glass of water to drink. The sage does not respond to him. When someone does not respond to our request, and especially when you consider yourself to be superior than that individual whom you're requesting, your ego gets hurt. More sensitive than our skin, right? More sensitive than our skin is our ego. Our ego, our abhiman. Bhaktajano, Parikshit Maharaja ego gets hurt. Make Maharaj who, and all I'm asking, all I'm requesting is one glass of water, you're not responding to me. So he does something very childish. Sometimes, my dear ones, the pranks, you know, pranks that we commit on others, do you know how much it could hurt that person? Do you have any idea what repercussions there could be from a prank? A simple prank. It could cause that individual the end of their life. Right? That's the way of the bullies of the world when they want to bully others. Right? In this case, call it a prank, calling something childish. He takes a dead snake and puts it around the sage's neck. And he leaves. That sage had a son by the name of Shringi. Shringi Rishi comes and sees this insult that has been meted out to his father. Kama yesha, krodha yesha. We are not perfect beings. There's anger in us. He gets angry. How can anyone insult my father like this? And particularly a monarch, particularly a ruler to come. They're supposed to be the protector of the Brahmins. They're supposed to be the ones protecting us, the commoners, the common people. How can he do this? So, without thinking, he pronounces a shrap. When the soul exits this body, nobody can call it back. Don't be fooled, okay? Nobody can call it back. Number two, when the arrow leaves the bow, when the bullet leaves the gun, nobody can call it back. And when the word leaves the mouth, nobody can retract it. The shrap has been pronounced. In 7 days, this Parikshit Maharaja is going to die. And he's not going to have any kind of a death. He is going to have an instant death. There's no chance for recovery. There's no chance for being saved. Instant death by the bite of Dakshak, the snake, the serpent, Dakshak. Nag Panchami will be coming up very shortly. In Naga Panchami, we show reverence to the serpents even, to the snakes. You have Dakshak, you have Adishesha, you have Vasuki, you have Kaliya. There's so many serpents that are named in our text. Dakshak means instant death. Parikshit Maharaja gets to know he has 7 days to live. What does that mean? He cannot die before these 7 days. He cannot die before the 7 days. He is immortal. Chali ja rahi hai umar dheere dheere. Chali ja rahi hai umar dheere dheere. Chali ja rahi hai umar dheere dheere. For some of us, the next 7 hours is not guaranteed. The next 7 days is not guaranteed. The next 7 hours is not guaranteed. Parikshit at least knows within 7 days, death cannot touch him. So he does what? He does the honorable thing. He hands over the responsibility to his son Janmejai, and he goes and sits on the southern bank of Gangaji, and he is going to ask questions. What should a dying man do? What should a dying man do? And to answer these questions, who comes there? Tatra bhava bhagavan vyasa putro yadrishchaya gamatamanupekshaha ala Alakshyalingo nijalabatushto Vritascha baleravadhuta veshaha. That divine sage, my dear ones, Shukadeva, the blessed son of Veda Vyasa. Remember the beginning of the Bhagavatam, I said to you, he is already in communion with the Supreme. He has no worldly attachment whatsoever. He is the one who's going to come. He is going to be welcomed. And it is to Parikshit Maharaj that the questions are going to, it is to Shukadev Mahamuni, the questions are going to be addressed. Yashrutavyam matho japyam yat kartavyam ribhi prabho smartavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam. Yashrutavyam matho japyam. Tell me, Master, what should be done by men in general? First thing he asked, what should be yashrotavya? What should we listen to? What should we listen to? I don't know about you, how selective you are to whom you converse with, how selective you are with what music you listen to, what lyrics, holy and unholy lyrics, you allow to seep into your ears. You should think about what you choose to open your ears to, what you should listen to, who you should listen to. First thing. Then, what should their japyam, what should they repeat with their tongue? Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Today I see youngsters piercing their tongue. It's a fashion. There can be nothing more fashionable to your tongue than when you speak truth. There can be absolutely nothing more blessed for your tongue than when you encourage others. There can be absolutely nothing more beautiful when you utilize your tongue to teach others, and more so, Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Radha Raman
Hari Govind Jai Jai. Imagine blessing the tongue, my dear ones, not with an ornament, but blessing it with God's name. What should we listen to? What should we repeat with our tongue? Are man mein kya rakhna hai? What should we keep in our mind and what should we not? So you came last night and Pandit Rishi did not address you. Maybe Pandit Jageshwarji did not greet you. So you feel bad. Should you allow that little petty oversight, should you allow it to spread more and more? You should forget it. So what if they did not greet you? So what if they did not honor you? You know, little things we keep in our mind, we knot it in our minds. You know, when you're doing that, you're collecting excess baggage. You're collecting excess baggage. You're weighing down your mind. You're burdening your mind. What should we keep in our minds? First, what should we listen to? What should we repeat with our tongue? Smartavyam. What should we keep in our mind? Number 3. Or number 4. Hame kya karna hai? And number 5. Hame kya nahi karna hai? We should know what to do, what to engage in, what to support, you know? And we should know what not to do. These are the 5 questions of Parikshit Maharaj. You think the answers to these questions will only apply to him? The answers is for us. Because in today's world, we do not know, my dear ones, what we should listen to. We do not know what we should speak. We do not know what to keep in our minds. We do not know what to engage in. And we don't know what to avoid. This ends iti prathamaskanda samapta. This concludes the first canto. In the second canto now, Shukadev Mahamuni is going to respond to him. He is going to respond to him and telling him, you are what? You are most qualified. idam bhagavatam nama puranam brahma sammitam adhitavana dvaparado piturdvaipayanadaham. This Purana is equivalent to the Vedas. Idam bhagavatam nama purana brahma sammitam. It was taught to me by my father, and you being a devotee of Sri Hari. Now, what would be the use of taking precious seeds, beej, and giving it to a lawyer? What good would that do? What good would it do if you take precious seeds and give it to a doctor? They wouldn't know what to do with it. You have to give it to whom? To a farmer. You have to give it to the one who knows the value of it. You cannot throw precious gems, my dear ones. You cannot scatter precious gems to people who don't know the value of it. Therefore, knowing that you are most qualified to receive this Bhagavatam, Antakale tu Purusha Agate Gat Sadvasaham Chinsyad Sangha Shastrena Spreham Dehe Anuye Chatam Antakale tu Purusham. And knowing that you are on your last moments on this earth, when at that final moment one shakes off all attachments to the world, all attachments to this world, all possessions of this world, with the only seeking only that medium to commune with Bhagavan, he tells him, you're most qualified, and I will give to you what my father has taught me, and that is the Bhagavatam. Bhagwat Katha हमको प्यारा पियारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा पियारा, भागवत कथा हमको प्यारा पियारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा पियारा. In book 2 of the Bhagavatam, you will have what is called Chatushloki Bhagavat. Chatushloki Bhagavat, it's 4 shloka, which Bhagwan Sri Mahavishnu himself is going to impart to Brahmaji. How did this universe come into being? From nothing can something come? The Lord makes his appearance in Kshir Sagar, which we call the Milky Way today. Bhagwan Shri Vishnu makes his appearance in Kshir Sagar. From his nabhi, from his navel, sprouts now a lotus flower, Kamal ke Phool. The lotus flower is one of our most sacred flowers. One of the best flowers to use in puja. One of the best, most beautiful, most fragrant, especially the Burmese variety. I got big up Burmese livet, right? Jorshang has beautiful lotus. It's bigger than the Burmese variety, but it doesn't have the scent like the Burmese variety. The Burmese variety is beautiful and it's darker in color. And imagine in the Shravan, we don't count how much we would offer to Mahadev during this Shravan. It reminds us of when Vishnu Bhagwan was doing Archana to Mahadev. Mahadev blessed him and gave him what? Sudarsana Chakra. You know? Sudarsana Chakra. Bhakta Jano. So, Vishnu Bhagwan makes his appearance. This is Vishnu Bhagwan's temple. Shall we pray a little bit to Bhagwan Narayan? Because the Chatushloki Bhagavat and this beautiful stuti from Ramcharitramanas, they share similar meanings. Jai Jai Surnayak Jan Sukhdayak Pranatpal Bhagavanta. Jai Jai Surnayak Jan Sukhdayak Pranatpal Bhagavanta. द्विज हितकारी जय असुरारी सिंधु सुता प्रिय कंता लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण
लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण
जेहि सृष्टि उपाई त्रिविध बनाई संग सहाय न दूजा सो करहु अघारी चिंता हमारी जानिया भगति न पूजा जय जय सुर नायक जन सुखदायक प्रणत पाल भगवंता गौद्विज हितकारी जय असुरारी सिंधु सुता प्रिय कंता शांताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिवीरध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवाभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् श्रीमन्नारायण भगवान की जय श्री बद्रीनारायण भगवान की जय श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय श्री सूर्य नारायण भगवान की जय श्री सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय Vishnu Bhagwan makes his appearance. Brahmaji, my dear ones, is sitting in the lotus that has sprouted from the navel of Bhagwan Sriman Narayana. Bhagwan Sriman Narayana tells Brahmaji, Ahameva samevagre nanyada yata sadasata param paschadaham yadeta cha yo vashishyeta somasyam. Prior to this creation, prior to this all, O Brahmaji, it was only I who existed. The first shloka says, he tells Brahmaji that before the creation of this world, only he existed and nothing else. He exists before creation, he exists with creation, and he will continue to be there even after Mahapralaya. This is why Arjuna calls him in chapter 11, Purana Purushottama. This Sanatana, Purana Purushottama. What is Sanatan? That which has no beginning, that which has no middle, that which has no end. Before creation, it is I who existed. With creation, I will exist. And after creation, after Mahapralaya, the great destruction, O Brahmaji, I'm also that which remains after all has disappeared. That's the first shloka. In the second shloka, Rite artham yata pritayeta na pritayeta chatmani tadavadhyadatmano maya yatha bhaso yatha tamam. If I were to read verbatim, that which makes it possible for something inexplicable to appear in my being as part from me without any corresponding reality, just like the illusion of a second moon, and which obscures my being, even though I am present everywhere. Like the presence of the planet Rahu, which has a shadowy form in the midst of all the luminaries, should be regarded as my deluding potency, as my Maya. Iska matlab kya hai? Whatever appears to be true or of some value, and if it is not related to him, then it is not real. Ye sab Maya hai. He explains Maya. Number 3, he says, number 3, I am present in everything. I am present in everything. I am present internally. And at the same time, I exist independently. You go to Bhagwat Gita, chapter 10, verse 20. Ahamatma Gurakesham Sarvabhutashchayastitaham Ahamadishascha Madhyam Cha Bhutanamanta Evacha. Chapter 10, verse 20, the Blessed Lord tells Arjuna, I am seated in the heart of all entities. Just like in chapter 18, Sarvasya Chaham Hridisan Nivishtito. I remember asking Dr. Dubey this. I said, Dr. Ji, right, when you open someone's heart, right, you're holding someone's life in the palm of your hand. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says he lives in the heart. Have you ever seen him? You know what Dr. Dubey said? Yes. You can ask him. Tell him Rajan Balgobin said so. He is the prana. Krishna is the life force. Pranaya, Vyanaya, Apanaya, Samanaya, Udanaya. The main life force in the body is prana. Krishna is that prana. It's because of him the heart is beating. Krishna is there. He says, I am seated in the heart of all living beings. I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the end of all living beings. This is what he tells us in the 3rd shloka. In the 4th shloka, Bhagwan says, Hum log papi nahi hai. We are not sinners seeking God's forgiveness. We are seekers of the truth. Be careful when you start comparing religion. One religion will tell you we are all sinners. Sanatan Dharma says we're not papi. We are seekers. Those who are searching for absolute truth. You will end your search with the knowledge that in all circumstances and in all space and times, Paramatma is in all living beings as the Jivatma. Isliye Goswami Tulsidas ji says, Siya Ram mein sab jagajani karahu pranam jodi jugapani. I see Sita and Rama. ठीक है? In every entity. इसलिए मैं सबको प्रणाम करता हूँ. I do my pranam to everyone. Chatushloki Bhagwat is given to Brahmaji in book 2. In book 3 of the Bhagavatam, you have a great meeting. You have Satsang and Kusang. Ma Durga, Ma Bhagwati, my dear ones, is blessed and she's consecrated here in this temple. Do you not sing to her? Kukarmi, kusangi, kubudhi, kudas, kulacharahina, kadacharalina, kudrishti, kuvatya, prabandha sadaham, gatistvam, gatistvam, tvameka bhavani. You know, what's it called? A Jungle Book? What is it, Jungle Book it's called? Jungle Book, right? Where the little boy is lost in the forest and he's raised by animals. He doesn't know he's human, right? Because he's never had human contact. Like Tarzan. Tarzan didn't have human contact until Jane came, I think, right? Then Jane taught him that he's human. Imagine taking a human being and placing that person in the company of an animal. That individual will think I'm an animal just like the rest of them. If I were to place you in the company of the good, don't doubt what the scripture says. Satsangatve nisangatvam nisangatve nirmohatvam Nirmohatve nischalitatvam nischalitatve jivan mukti bhaj govindam govindam bhaj mudhamate samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukring karne. Now we are prone to go on two sides. Do rang duniya hai aur do raste. Well, let's take one line of Mukesh in between. Two colors of the world and two paths. One is Satsang, one is Kusang. We tell Mother Durga, Kusangi kukarmi, kubuddhi, kudasa. I can be influenced to perform bad deeds when I associate with the wrong. You know? I can be influenced to cherish bad thoughts. I can be influenced to be a bad person. That's when you fall in kusanga. But when you fall in satsang, satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalitatvam, nischalitatve jivan mukti. Bhaja Govindam Avadi Shankaracharya, he sings the praises of satsang. Goswami Tulsidas, he sang the praises of satsang. How many of us have not sang and continue to sing about being in a good company? What do you gain from satsang? Through the company of the good, there arises vairagya. There arises non-attachment. Through vairagya, through non-attachment, there arises freedom from delusion. You know what is delusion? When you feel you can't do without something. When you think you can't live without something. When you become overly obsessive over something. Satsang will grant you the ability to detach yourself. Through freedom from delusion, there arises steadfastness. And through steadfastness, there arises mukti, liberation. This is the beauty of satsang. A satsang is going to take place in book 3 between two extraordinary individuals. One Chachaji, his name is Vidur, right? You had Dhritarashtra, and you had Pandu, and you had Vidur, the 3 brothers. Vidur, you know, sometimes when people give us good advice, we don't want to take it because you think your advice is the best. Vidur, just like Ramcharitramanas, you have Vibhishan approaching Ravan. Vidur approaches Dhritarashtra and says, you see this big son of yours, this eldest son of yours, Duryodhana, ye saap ki tarah hai. Feed it all the milk you want, but it will convert that milk into poison. Expel him from Hastinapur. But instead, guess who gets expelled? Vidur. Dhritarashtra does not listen to Vidur. And Vidur also wants nothing to do with the war. He wants no knowledge, nothing at all concerning Mahabharata Yuddha. Vidura had left. And the other person who's going to meet with him in satsang is Uddhav. Uddhav was a minister in Sri Krishna's cabinet, if you want to call it that. A good friend, a best friend. It was Uddhava who had the beauty of Krishna that he fooled the gopis when he went to visit them. This Uddhava received the final, quote-unquote, the concluding sermon of Sri Krishna before ascending back to his divine realm. It was Uddhava that Sri Krishna gave the Uddhav Gita to. You will hear part of that on Sunday, the Uddhav Gita. Uddhava was the one who pleaded with him, Aap is lok ko chhod kar mat jaiye Prabhu, please don't leave Krishna. If you leave, what will happen? Kya hoga tumhare bhakto? It was Sri Krishna who then placed all of his splendor in Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. Apne samast tej ko is Bhagwat mein sthapit kar diya Sri Krishna ne. This is why this is not an ordinary text. Samsara sagare magnam dinam mam karuna nidhe karma moha grihitangam mamudha bhavarnavat Srimad Bhagavatakyoyam pratyaksha Krishna evahi. This is the book form of Sri Krishna. It was Sri Krishna who gave Uddhava that concluding sermon and sent him away. Tells Uddhava, travel to Badrika Ashram, go to Badrinath. Uddhava, of course, knows that Sri Krishna has ascended to his divine realm. And on his way to Badrinath, he meets Vidur. So imagine what two lovers of God will be talking about. When 2 lovers of cricket meet, Bapri. When 2 lovers of food meet up. When 2 lovers of music meet. That's not what you talk about. Uddhava and Vidur, both lovers of Sri Krishna. They're going to talk about all of his childhood sports, all of his leela. It was Uddhava who's going to tell Vidur who died in the battle. He doesn't know. who perished in the Mahabharat Yudh. And just imagine when Uddhava had to tell Vidur, what happened to Bansiwale? What happened to him? He also have ascended to his divine realm. Imagine that news to the ears of Vidur. You have the meeting of Vidur and Uddhav. And they together have satsang, basically discoursing over, talking over Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Vidur meets now another sage by the name of Maitreya. It is Maitreya who is going to tell him, how did this world come into being? So Brahmaji is there. Bhagwan Vishnu instructs him, populate the world. Your duty now, Brahmaji, is to populate the world. Brahmaji creates the Sanat Kumaras. Sanat, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan. The 4 Sanat Kumaras, Brahmacharis. The boys say, we want to remain eternal Brahmachari. Brahmaji then creates Narad Muni. Narad Muni says, I only want to sing Hari's name. Then he goes on to create Manu and Satrupa. Manu and Satrupa are going to have 5 children. 3 daughters and 2 sons. The 3 daughters are Akuti, Prasuti and Devahuti. And the 2 sons are going to be Priyavrata and Uttanapad. Now who are they going to marry? Ye sab bhai bahan hai. These are brothers and sisters. Brahmaji creates the Prajapatis. He creates the Prajapati. Among the famous Prajapatis, or should I say the infamous, famous and infamous, is Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati is going to marry Prasuti, one of the daughters of Manu and Satrupa. You see, you have to follow lots of characters in Bhagavatam. And all of us know among the famous daughters of Daksha and Prasuti is Bhagwati Sati. Mother Devahuti is going to marry Kardama Rishi. Mother Akuti is going to marry Ruchi. Their katha is going to come now in the Bhagavatam as they're speaking of how did creation come into being. So now, one of the daughters of Daksha and Prasuti is Diti. Her name is Diti, D-I-T-I. And another sister is named Aditi. Aditi and Diti. Diti is going to marry the great sage Kashyap. Kashyap. And comes a very interesting episode on time. A very interesting episode on the importance of Muhurt, of time. It was Sandhya Kala. It was the evening time. Ditir dakshayani kshatmari cham kashyapam patim apatya kama chakami sandhyayashchadita Dakshayani. She is also called Dakshayani, Diti, the daughter of Daksha. Her husband is Kashyap Rishi. And it is Sandhya Kal. Morning Sandhya and evening Sandhya, what do you do? Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shatru buddhi vinashaya deepa jyotir namostute. You light a lamp. It is time for prayers. When night is about to become day and when day is about to become night. We've been advised these are very suitable times for prayers. This lady called Diti, she is overcome by kama. She is overcome by passion. Remember, under anger, Shringi Rishi pronounced a shrap. Now she is overcome by amorous feelings. She wants her husband, Kashyapa, to embrace her. Her husband tells her, this is not the time. This is most inappropriate, O lady. This is most inappropriate. This is the time you have the Rudras. This is the time you have the attendance of Bhagwan Bholenath. Bam Bam Bhole Shri Vishwanath Shambho Bam Bam Bhole Shri Vishwanath Shambho Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya नित्याय शूद्राय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय. He tells her this is not the time. This is the most inappropriate time. But she insists, she insists, she insists. And many people will ask, but Kashyapa would have known better. Why did he give in to her request? A lovely note is written here in the Bhagavatam. A husband should never deny his wife her request. All my bhauji, I should clap your hand for me. No husband, aapko ek naya sari chahiye, if it's within his budget to get you, if it's within his budget to get you that sari, please get her the sari. It means a lot. Kashyapa is a great sage. But yet he gives in to Diti's request because why? I will gratify you, he says. Even though it's against my wishes. Even though it's against my wishes. And he embraces. The scripture says that a wife as the other half of the body of a man. Recently, like I said, somebody wanted the Hindu wedding, not Christian wedding, not a Muslim wedding, not a Jewish wedding. They wanted a Hindu wedding to reflect gender equality. So guess what, how they're going to do this? They want the Hindu wedding, the Vivah Sanskar, to reflect gender equality. So instead of the young lady placing the garland on the young man first, the young man placed it over the girl's neck. No problem. Uske baad, tell me what need is there? What need is there for us to show affection in public? They kissed her. Not on the cheek. They kissed on the lips. A dulaha and a dulhan. And a priestess, a female priest who's going to conduct the ceremony, is standing right there. I'm sorry. Keep your private moments private. That is not meant to be displayed, particularly under a mandap, where we have to present the Dulhan Dulhin as Ram and Sita. Okay? Fine. Young man places Mangal Sutra around the young lady's neck. So the young lady wants to place something around his neck also. I don't know what mantra there is for that. There's a mantra for the young man to place a Mangal Sutra around the young lady's neck. But to show gender equality, it means also the girl has to place something on his neck. The worst of it all, he placed sindoor on her parted hair, and she places sindoor on him. Is this where my young people, my hyper-educated college graduates with multiple degrees, is this what your plan is? To desecrate our dharma? To desecrate our parampara? To satisfy what? Your personal needs? Because that's what they did. They wanted to satisfy their personal needs. With any regards to our tradition, with any regards or respect for our parampara. And worse yet, to find somebody to agree to conduct such a ceremony. Ye sharam ki baat hai. Yes, you can come after me, I don't care. You can start make your negative comments. You can start sending emails. You can start saying whatever you wish about me. ये सब हो रहा है. हमारे भागवत महापुराण says a wife is the other half of a man's body. Prakash ji, Bhauji is your other half. My brother Vishnu, Bhauji is your other half. Where is there inequality? Where is there inequality? The scripture says a wife as the other half of a man's body. It is together you earn dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It's together the husband and wife are pursuing the purusharthas. Therefore, Kashyapa is going to give in to her request. But after embracing Mother Diti, you know what he does? he goes and purifies himself. He goes and purifies himself. And he tells Diti the following. Aprayadatmanaste doshan mahurtaka dutam maninde shanti charena devanam chatiletanat. Lady, since your mind was impure, your mind was tainted with lust, listen to it carefully. The hour was unfavorable. This was not the time for us to embrace each other. You disregarded my advice. You disregarded the worship of Rudra. You disregarded the worship of Mahadeva. Therefore, a pair of wicked sons, unworthy. Call him the world's first Atankavadi. What's it? Atankavadi, terrorist, are going to be born. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. This is how Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are going to come into the world. I tell youngsters, let your children be a product of love, not a mere moment of satisfying or gratifying your lust or your passion. Let your children be a product of prayers. You will see how Mother Devahuti and Kardam Rishi are going to bring forth a child into this world, completely different from the way Diti and Kashyap brought forth children. This was the product of lust, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. She's begging him now. After committing the sinful act, you seek apology, don't you? Mame gharba mimam brahman bhutanam vrishabho vadhita rudraha patirahi bhutanam yasya karavaham samam namo rudraya mahate devayograye mirushe shivaya nyastadandaya dhritadandaya manyave. She's begging her husband now, please let us appeal to Rudra, let us appeal to Shiva, not to do what? This offense that I've committed against him, let him not destroy that which is going to develop within my womb. She begins praying. That is not what we do after committing a wrong, we start praying. She starts praying. And when Kashyapa saw her praying, Kashyapa says to her, Shrutva Bhagavatam Pautram Mudata Ditirbrisham Putrayoscha Vadam Krishna Dvidvidvitva Sina Mahamana. Sing Diti, my dear ones. Now, what is called Hri? Hri, H-R-I. Hri is genuine when you're genuinely apologetic. When your sorry is not superficial, but sincere. When your apology is sincere, when he witnesses sincerity in her, he says, don't worry. Save Mahabhagavato Mahatma Mahanubhavo Mahata Mahishta. We are going to have to wait for a grandson. Our grandson will redeem us. Our grandson will redeem us. When Diti heard these words, that her grandson would be a great devotee of Sri Hari, she was much delighted. Who that grandson is going to be? Prahlad. Sometimes it takes another generation to make the wrongs right, to redeem the family's name and to redeem the family's honor. This katha comes to us in book 3. In book 3 also something is happening in Vaikuntha. What is happening in Vaikuntha? You have the two gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijay. And you have the Sanat Kumaras who want to go and meet Mahavishnu. They're passing through the 7 doors. They've reached to the 7th door to enter into the realm of Mahavishnu, and they're blocked by Jaya and Vijay. They're blocked. Jaya and Vijay went on to mock them. Jaya and Vijay went on to jeer, to belittle them. And again, let me tell you something, children. If there's anything you want from people, is you want their blessings. You do not want anyone's bad-dua. You know what is bad-dua? Curse. You don't want anyone ill-wishing you, that you will never succeed in life. You will never become anything in life. Sometimes parents tell their children this. Sometimes children have to listen to these types of unholy words from their parents. You will become nothing in life. You know? No, children, do that which you will get the blessings of your parents. This is what is needed. My dear ones, the Sanat Kumaras crowed when they got angry. Look at the two of you, you're so close to God, but your behavior is so ungodly. Isn't that true? There's some people, my dear ones, Buramat Manon, with my expression, sometimes I think they smoke agarbattis. They're so holy. They present themselves as being so God-loving and God-conscious, but their lifestyle reflects something else. Their lifestyle reflects something else. So you two being so close to God and your behavior is so ungodly, the two of you shall fall from grace and be born as Rakshas. Jai Vijay. Bhagwan Sri Hari comes, says to them, I will deliver the two of you. It's from my hands the two of you will receive mukti. Jai and Vijay fall from grace. They're coming back into the world as the two sons of Diti and Kashyap. They're coming back as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu in Satyug. In Treta, they're going to come as Ravan and Kumbhakaran. And in Dwapar, Shishupal and Dantavaktra. This is cause and effect. Cause and effect. Everything we do will yield either some rewards, awards, or consequences. Think about it. This comes in book 3. In book 3 of the Bhagavatam also. Now, Diti and Kashyapa, look at how they made a child. You meet Kardama Rishi and Mother Devahuti. You know what they did? They prayed. They prayed to Bhagwan Vishnu. Bhagwan Vishnu is pleased with them. Shri Hari, my dear ones, is pleased with Mother Devahuti and Kardama Rishi. They said to him, we want a son like you. There could only be me, myself. It is I who will come as your son. And Kardama Rishi and Mother Devahuti, through the medium of prayers, they brought Kapil Mahamuni. The great Kapil Mahamuni comes as their son. It's a lovely episode. If you can read about Mother Devahuti and Kapila Upadesha, the message of Kapil Mahamuni. The son enlightens his mother on several topics. Time will not permit me to even touch them. But one of them is the development of the embryo in the womb. Can you imagine that? That is in the Bhagavatam. After how many weeks, what part of the body appears? After how many months, what organ appears? Long before sonogram came into existence, the Bhagavatam is talking about the development of the fetus within the womb. And in that world, you ever see a fetus in its position in the womb? It looks like it's praying. It's praying because why? Kapila Mahamuni says he wants to be released. He wants to exit that world. He wants to exit that world. It's a beautiful episode. I encourage you to please read the discussion between Kapil Mahamuni and Mother Devahuti. That is in book 3. Book 4, we always hear about Daksha Prajapati. But why this ill feeling between Daksha and Shiva? What has Bholenath done to him? Huh? Bholenath se nirala, Gaurinath se nirala, koi aur nahi. Ye to Bholenath hai. How can Bholenath offend anyone? But the Katha says, Sati against her father's will marries Bhagwan Shiva. And all of us know Shivji's Swarup. जटाधारी बन के त्रिपुरारी बन के चले आना भोले जी चले आना जटाधारी बन के त्रिपुरारी बन के
चले आना भोले जी चले आना
तुम जोगिया रूप में आना तुम जोगिया रूप में आना डमरू हाथ लेके नंदी साथ लेके चले आना भोले जी चले आना. Who would want a son-in-law who is a yogi? He depends on alms for his living. Nobody wants a son-in-law like that. Huh? Who wants a son-in-law, my dear ones, who entertains himself by playing a little damaru? Who wants a son-in-law who doesn't have a Mercedes-Benz? He rides a white bull called Nandi. Daksha Prajapati from inception did not like Mahadeva. After all, he saw himself superior. He's a Prajapati. His task is to populate the world. That's not Mahadev's task. That is his task. So once there's this great sabha, and Daksha Prajapati is walking like royalty. And of course, when royalty makes their way, you have to stand up and give them that honor. So all the devatas stood. Brahmaji did not stand. So Daksha Prajapati, my Pitaji is old, na Budha. It's okay for him to sit. Guess who else does not stand up? Shivji did not stand up. Imagine our ego is so sensitive. Mahadev did not stand to give this honorary welcome to Daksha, and Daksha began hurling abuse to Mahadev. Just like people today. What do you gain from worshipping a rock? This rock which is drawing millions and millions and millions. Saurashtra Somanatham cha Shri Shaile Mallikarjunam Ujjainiyam Mahakalam Omkaram Mamaleshwaram Paralyam Vedhanatham cha Dakinyam Bhima Shankaram Setu Bandhitu Ramesham Nagesham Darukavane Varanasyam tu Vishweshwam Trayambakam Gautami Tate Himalaya tu Kedaram Bhushmecham cha Shivalaye Etani Jyotiralingani Sayam Prata Pathenarah Sapta Janma Krita Papam Smarena Vinashyati. Right now in Bharat, this is Shivji's festival. This is Shivji's season. Millions and millions of devotees just want to offer that jal to Mahadev. There's got to be something special about this rock. There has to be something special about it. Bhaktajano, he hurls insults to Mahadev. Mahadev remains calm and cool. Whether you worship him or you don't worship him, Mahadev is not affected. He stays calm, he stays cool. And all of us know that episode. While in Kailash, you know, when wood is burning wood, and when Havan is being performed, the scent is two different scents. The scent of when wood, normally wood is just burning, right? The ladies are cooking with fireside in Guyana. Right below my apartment, I have to keep my door closed because it all comes into my house, my little living room. It burns the nose, right? It burns the eyes. But when you sit for a Havan, and if you were to offer into that Havan Kund the purest of Gai ki ghee, the purest of cow's ghee, the purest of ingredients that's not contaminated, you can make your own Havan Samagri, ingredients to place in a Havan Kund. It's a different scent. While in Kailash, she gets a whiff of the scent and she gets to know my father is having a yagya. Daksha is having a yagya. Then I must go. No, Sati, we were not invited. You don't go where you're not appreciated. Isn't that true? Why you want to make yourself uncomfortable and make the host family uncomfortable? Don't go. Don't go. But she insists, ye mere maika hai. This is my parents' home. He sends Nandi with Sati Devi. And when Bhagwati Sati, my dear ones, when Sati went into that sabha and herself again was insulted by her father. It's a famous episode. Bhagwat records it, the Ramcharitramanas records it. Do you remember what Sati Devi said? Sunahu sabha sad sakala muninda. She is Devi. She said, to those who will speak ill against Shiva, those who will speak ill against Vishnu, those who will speak ill against the saints and sages, what should you do? Two things she says. You rip their tongue out or you close your ears and walk away. Now, I don't want nobody to rip anyone's tongue, but you should be equipped to give a response. You should be equipped. You see, when the Westerners went to the East, they could not comprehend the idea of a shivling. So they coined it as a phallic symbol. Right? They coined it as a phallic symbol. They could not comprehend that. But from that temple where that phallic symbol was housed, they did what? They looted it. They took everything away from that temple. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. Read how many times Somnath Mandir was destroyed. Children, Hindu children, know the history of us Hindus. You must know it. Okay? But yet, that same rock was making an entire country prosperous. Making an entire nation prosperous. So when they came and in whatever way they could belittle and give corrupted interpretations of Sanatan Dharma, they did it. They did it. Bhaktajano, Sati said, give stern responses. If not, do not stay there to hear it. You should close your ears and walk away. And now, what does she do? Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstitha Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Ma Bhagwati says, this yajna shall have absolutely no fruit. It will have absolutely no merit. That place where Mahadev is not worshipped, that place where Mahadev is insulted, it will yield no merit. She destroys that yajna. Sati destroys that yajna. Many of you here are youngsters. You have learned in science class, energy is neither created and energy is neither destroyed. It changes its form. Energy changes its form. And all of us know what happens there. Daksha's yajna gets destroyed. Bhagwan Shankar creates Veerabhadra and Bhagwati Bhadrakali. The two of them go and destroy that yajna. It means it has no merit, it has no fruit. And then, when Daksha head was beheaded, he was given the head of an animal. He was given the head of a goat. That head that does not know Shiva. There are 2 instances. You have beheadings. You have the beheading of Daksha and you have the beheading of Gauriputra. He was Gauriputra. And then after beheading, he becomes Ganesh. Because why? He was ignorant of Shiva. He did not know who is Shiva and what is Shiva. Similarly to Daksha Prajapati, he was given the head of an animal. That Katha comes in book 4. We're going to take Vishram, we're going to take rest from Katha, and we're going to meet back tomorrow because I have to bring to you Dhruva. Dhruva's Katha, the little child, the 5-year-old child Dhruva, that will come in book 4. In book 5, we will talk about Bharata and Jara Bharata. In book 6, we're going to talk about Ajamil. In book 7, we will speak about Hiranyakashipu and Prahalad. In book 8, we will speak about Gajendra and we will speak about Mahabali. In book 9, just one kirtan, I will give one katha and one kirtan. Ambarisha's katha and of course a kirtan on Sri Sita Ramji. And then tomorrow, dress your best. Tomorrow, wear your best. Don't wait, Indira, for the reception. Don't wait for the wedding. The outfit that you plan on wearing for a wedding that you have worn probably for a past wedding and you're ashamed to wear it for another wedding because people will say, you wear the same dress again, gal. Wear that lovely outfit tomorrow because guess what? Sri Krishna will come tomorrow. We are going to bring in Bhagwan Sri Krishna with Dashamaskanda tomorrow evening, brothers and sisters. So I want you to wear your best, dress your best, bring flowers, bring fruits, bring, my dear ones, Tulsi, bring garlands for him, and we will celebrate the coming of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Jeevan hai tere hawale, muraliya wale. जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले। हम तो कठ पुतली तेरे हाथ की, हम तो कठ पुतली तेरे हाथ की, चाहे तुझे से नचा ले मुरलिया वाले, चाहे तुझे से नचा ले मुरलिया वाले। जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले। अपने चरण का दास बना ले, हो दास बना ले, हो दास बना ले। अपने चरण का दास बना ले, वृंदावन में बसा ले मुरलिया वाले, वृंदावन में बसा ले मुरलिया वाले। जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले, जीवन है तेरे हवाले मुरलिया वाले। And of course, I'm missing my Shiv Mandir. I'm missing my Bhole Baba in Guyana. This is day number 30th. We have not skipped a day in his Abhishekam. After his Abhishekam, his Shringar. After his Shringar, we do Archana. After his Archana, Bhog is offered to Mahadev. And after the Bhog, we do his Aarti. This is day number 30th. And of course, Mahadev's Puja or Manav Puja is Mahadev's Puja. For the 30th day, 200 plus meals again was served. Today was cook-up rice, nice cook-up rice, and fried ripe plantains. Okay? I know you're salivating. This was served, my dear ones, to 200 plus persons. And I want to thank you for your blessings. I want to thank you for your support. Zara damru bajana. Shiva Shankar, hum puja karne aaye hai. ठीक है? Babam bam babam babam bam babam babam bam babam bam. Zara damaru zara damaru bajana. शिव शंकर मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ. जरा डमरू बजाना. शिव शंकर मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ. 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 जरा डमरू जरा डमरू बजाना. शिव शंकर मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ. जरा डमरू बजाना. शिव शंकर मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ. बम 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 बम. मेरे हाथ में गोपी चंदन है. मैं तिलक लगाने आया हूँ. मेरे हाथ में गोपी चंदन है. मैं तिलक लगाने आया हूँ. जरा डमरू बजाना. शिव शंकर मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ. शंकर भगवान की. मेरे हाथ में माखन पेड़ा है. मैं बबम बम बबम बबम बम बबम बबम बम बबम बम। मेरे हाथ में भांग का प्याला है, मैं तुम्हें पिलाने आया हूँ। जरा डमरू जरा डमरू जरा डमरू बजाना शिव शंकर, मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ। जरा डमरू बजाना शिव शंकर, मैं पूजा करने आया हूँ। बम 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 बम। You know, when you say the word bum, please don't say it in the aircraft. Do not say it in a plane. Do not say it at the airport. Say it in the mandir. Bum. See it? Bum means what? An explosion, right? When you worship Bhagwan Shiva, it's an explosion of emotions, children. It's an explosion of that insaniyat that is within us. It's an explosion of bhakti. An explosion of bhakti to Mahadev. And you know, when Pandit Rishi messaged me that they want to have a katha, I said to him, do you know it is Shravan Maas? Do you know I'm not going to give up my Shravan Maas for anything? But I cannot refuse this young man. Maybe the Canadians don't know him, we Americans know him. When I was ill, when my mom passed away, this was one of the Pandits who stood by my side. I have very few Pandits who are my friends, I'm being honest with you. I have very few who I can actually say they're my friends. I'm acquainted to many, but friend. This is like a brother, not a friend. He stood by my side when my mom passed away. They didn't know of my illness. And when I was hospitalized, he made several visits when I was in the hospital and chanted prayers for me. And I can never forget that kindness, Panditji. I cannot forget that kindness. And then, of course, your mother shares the name of my mother. How can I refuse him? So, Shiv Katha Puja is going on by the grace of Mataji Chandrauti Maharaj in Barbies. When we conclude here on Sunday night is back to Guyana, so I can be there for Monday Puja. But it's really a wonderful feeling. I cannot believe it's 3 days now we're concluding. And I invite you to please come tomorrow and let's bring Lord Krishna. You will see Mahadev on Friday night as a gopi. You will see him as Gopeshwar Mahadev if you've never seen him before. If you have an idea who is Gopeshwar Mahadev, Friday night we're going to dance. We're going to have Ras Leela. Shivji is going to come also to dance. I wish all of you Bhagwan Shankar, Bhagwan Narayana, choicest blessings to grow from strength to strength, prosperity to prosperity, joy to joy, and may you experience all that which is good in life. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanudharaha, Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir, Druvanitir Matir Mama. We meet again tomorrow evening for our 4th session. Come dressed best for Shri Krishna, right, Savitri? I hope you brought an outfit from Schenectady. Happy to see all of you. Jai Shri Krishna. Until we meet again tomorrow evening.
Prem Sula Vyas Bhagwan Ki Jai. Let us give our Vyas a round of applause once again for his very energetic, enlightening, spiritual cleansing katha, Tor Atma, Tor Jiva. Babaji, once again, thank you so much on behalf of my dear mother, my elder brother, my elder sister, and entire Parivar. Thank you so much once again for this very 3rd session of the Sapta Bhagavad Yagya. Thank you so much again. May Bhagavan bless you with a good health and strength that you continue to share this nectar of this katha. To all our dear Pandits in house, once again, Pranam, Swagatam. Thank you so much, my dear brother Pandit Avinashji, once again for leading us in katha. Pandit Lekramji for being with us. Pandit Sharmaji, thank you so much, my dear Brahmacharis, who always have been here, night and day, in and out, in the temple, serving in the wee hours of the morning and late at night. Thank you so much for being here once again. To all the devotees from various temples, my dear brother Prakashji and all Pandit Vishnuji from Radha Krishna, Cambridge, Pandit Mahindra Tiwari, Radha Krishna, Westmore, thank you so much. And all other temples, thank you so much for your love, your support. Amar Geet, 50%. Thank you so much for being here. Your love and warmth is much appreciated. To all our mothers and fathers, my dear Pitaji and Mataji from out in Schenectady, thank you so much. I know that would mean the realm of wealth to my dear brother, and my mom, thank you so much for being here. To all my devotees from near and far, especially our devotees of Maha Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, thank you so much for being here night after night, session after session, to make this yajna a success to this point. My dear devotees, once again I want to say thank you. Please join us tomorrow evening as we continue, as Babaji tease you a little bit of what is there to come, wherever we have been celebrating our dear mom's 75th birth anniversary. And of course, my dear dad, 25 years ago, he have dropped his mortal coil to move onwards. And of course, I'm very happy, my mom, my brother, very happy to see many, many devotees who have been at his feet, who have served for many years, being with us here tonight. We were very little, and yet again to come to support us from near and far. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. And we continue to ask Bhagwan Kripa and mercy be with you. I want to say thank you to my dear brother Ravi, who is in the house here tonight. Ravi, thank you so much. That beautiful asana, let us put our hands together for Ravi Sharma, who have built this asana for us. R&N, he's in the business of furniture and so forth. Ravi had made a pledge to me many, many years ago. When you want a nice asana, tell me, you know. And I couldn't able to gratify him. We had many asanas before and I failed. So I said, it comes around. Ravi put his miraculous art there. Thank you so much, Ravi. Bhagwan bless your business. And of course, my dear sister MJK, Michelle, thank you so much for the decoration, the backdrops, the beautifying of this temple. Let us give Michelle a round of applause for all the wonderful work. To the beautification of the murtis, our dear mothers, sisters, our children of this temple. Not only the physical beauty of putting a garland or the clothing, but the worshipping, the serving of them every day. And this is a pledge. Chacha Boj have given me that challenge when the murti was prana pratishtha. Make sure every day puja is being done in this temple. Every day. And from that point to this junction, I pray Bhagavan give us the strength, myself and these 6 brahmacharis, to continue to worship them and serve. And in serving them, we serve our community. Thank you so much for being here. On behalf of myself and devotees of this temple, my dear family, my mom, thank you so much. Let us kindly stand for Aarti as we join Baba tomorrow. Once again, thank you so much.
धनी वृंदावन धाम है, धनी वृंदावन नाम, धनी वृंदावन रसिक जे सुमिरत राधे श्याम। श्यामा तेरी आरती, सावरिया तेरी आरती, सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के, सारा संसार
करेगा कर जोर के।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
सिर पर सोना मुकुट विराजे, गल वैजंती माला साजे।
सिर पर सोना मुकुट विराजे, गल वैजंती माला साजे।
और फूलन के हार करेगा कर जोर के, श्यामा तेरी आरती, गोपाला तेरी आरती, सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के, सारा
संसार करेगा कर जोर के।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
मैं हूँ दीनन दुखिया भारी, आया हूँ प्रभु शरण तुम्हारी।
मैं हूँ दीनन दुखिया भारी, आया हूँ प्रभु शरण तुम्हारी।
रखियो लाज हमार करेगा कर जोर के श्यामा तेरी आरती, नंद लाला तेरी आरती।
सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के, सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
प्रेम सहित जो आरती गावे, श्री राधा माधव के पद पावे।
प्रेम सहित जो आरती गावे, श्री राधा माधव के पद पावे।
बाढ़े सुयश पार करेगा कर जोर के श्यामा तेरी आरती है कृष्ण तेरी आरती।
सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के, सारा संसार करेगा कर जोर के।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
गोविंद गोपाल है नंद लाला,
गोविंद गोपाल है नंद लाला।
गोविंद गोपाल है ब्रज बाला,
गोविंद गोपाल है ब्रज बाला।
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला,
राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
मीरा के नाथ प्रभु गिरधर गोपाला,
मीरा के नाथ प्रभु गिरधर गोपाला।
ओ गिरधर गोपाला,
गिरधर गोपाला।
ओ गिरधर गोपाला,
गिरधर गोपाला।
तुलसी जी के राजा राम रघुवर दीन दयाला, तुलसी जी के राजा राम रघुवर दीन दयाला। है पीतांबर धारी हे मुरली वाला, पीतांबर धारी
है मुरली वाला।
राधे गोपाला गोपी
गोपाला, राधे गोपाला गोपी गोपाला।
श्री राधे 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 गोपाला,
श्री राधे 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 गोपाला।
श्री राधे 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 गोविंद,
श्री राधे 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 गोविंद।
हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे।
हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे।
ओ काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे सदा शिव पार्वती संगे।
काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे सदा शिव पार्वती संगे।
हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे।
हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे।
ओ बाबा वैद्यनाथ गंगे,
हो बाबा वैद्यनाथ गंगे।
अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो। अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा भोलेनाथ की जय हो। भोलेनाथ की जय हो, बाबा विश्वनाथ की जय हो। भोलेनाथ की जय हो, बाबा विश्वनाथ की जय हो। अजर अमर शिव शंकर बाबा सोमनाथ की जय हो।
अजर अमर शिव शंकर
बाबा सोमनाथ, बाबा भैरवनाथ, बाबा वैद्यनाथ, बाबा विश्वनाथ की जय हो। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव,
त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
देवके परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु
मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं
यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधव
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः
सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्
करचरणकृतं वा ककायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितं अविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो कालहर कष्टहर दुःखहर दारिद्र्यहर रोगाहर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हर शम्भो
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा
गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः प्रेम स्वरूप उमापति महादेव की जय लक्ष्मीपति विष्णु भगवान की जय राधावर कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय सनातन धर्म की सनातन धर्म की सनातन धर्म की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय सब संतन की जय जय सीताराम. Please remain seated to receive Aarti. Prasadaman Bhojan is prepared for everyone. Please do not leave without partaking of Prasadaman Bhojan and join with us again tomorrow evening for our 4th session with both the Krishna Avatara and the Ramji Avatara. Jai Shri Krishna.